we have common values and also common dangers. The common dangers are based on the twin threats of the militant Islam, the Shiite extremists led by Iran, the Sunni extremists led by Daesh. We are committed to thwarting these dangers as we are committed to seize the common opportunities and great opportunities that I think are before us, Mr. Secretary.
That was Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu speaking earlier today before his meeting with Defense Secretary James Mattis. And here's more of my exclusive interview with the Israeli Prime Minister. Bill Clinton was so wrong on North Korea, and they got nuclear weapons. And President Obama was so wrong about the red line resulting in the elimination of chemical weapons. Now, to me, it makes sense if you have a country that's the #1 state sponsor of terror, Iran, that repeatedly says they want to wipe your country, Israel, off the map, and also fire weapons at the United States, burn the American flag, the Israeli flag.
And kill Americans. And they nearly assassinated the Saudi ambassador.
That was in Washington.
Downtown Washington, D.C. That's Iran.
And they're fighting multiple proxy wars against you and others. Here's the question.
And your allies here.
Very true. How does the United States president give $150 billion to the #1 state sponsor of terror? Now, I know you took him on. You still say you had a decent relationship with him, though, with Obama, President Obama.
On other matters, yes, but not on this. And also on the realistic and a way to pursue peace between us and the Palestinians. But on the question of Iran, I want to make clear. I think this is important. You know, our problem with the deal, my problem was not merely that they would violate the deal, and they will wherever they can. It's that if they don't violate the deal, they walk into, within 12 years, into unimpeded enrichment of uranium, which is what you need to make bombs. And from there, the distance to making bombs is nothing. Okay, nothing. So I disagreed with that, and I didn't think, you know, and now look at what has happened. Okay, the deal has been signed. Iran's economy is improving. Maybe not at the rate that they'd like, but down the line, you know, they're going to get hundreds of billions of dollars by not only because of the cash that will flow into them, but also investments that will flow into them. They'll get more lethal weapons, including in deals that they signed immediately with Russia as soon as the deal was
including for missile defense.
Right.
If Israel or the United States or allied countries want to take out those nuclear sites.
And if you add to that their aggression in the region, they moved into Yemen in a big way, which is a maritime route for the world.
And threatening the Saudis.
Not threatening, firing
at the Saudis.
Rockets and missiles into Saudi territory from Yemen. They moved into Syria. They're trying to establish a naval base on the Mediterranean. Can you imagine Iranian submarines in the Mediterranean? You have the 6th Fleet there, you know. We have our own maritime shipping. You want Iranians there?
Nope.
No, and I said this to President Putin. I said, it's not a good idea.
What did he say?
I'll tell you what I said.
What did he say?
I said it's not in the interest of anyone,
Russia,
including Russia, to have an Iranian naval base in the Mediterranean.
But there's this alliance. You got
and I didn't hear a forceful argument there.
Damascus, Tehran, Moscow. They get along.
Well,
he props them up.
Well, I have to say that, you know, we have a good relationship with Russia. I have a good relationship with President Putin. But here's one point where we disagree. That's an understatement.
There is a new sheriff in town. You spent time with President Trump. He, this week, said that the Iranians are violating the spirit of the nuclear deal. And we can see that he and Rex Tillerson, the Secretary of State, are now moving in a direction to get America out from under the deal, even though I think most of the money was transferred. How important is it that they act on that?
Look, here's my position, but it's my position. Vis-a-vis the deal with Iran, you know, I would, if I had to compress it to 2 words, repeal or replace.
So those are words Americans know well.
Well, okay, but that would be my position. I think Washington has to decide its own position. But clearly, one thing that has to be changed is to not let Iran have the best of all worlds, which is the worst of all worlds for Israel,
and the
world. Arab countries, the United States, the world.
The new UN ambassador, Nikki Haley, was slamming the UN Security Council just yesterday for what she called Israeli bashing sessions, and tried to refocus the Security Council on exactly what you're saying, and that is the threat of Iran and Hezbollah and terror, which the UN steadfastly refuses to focus on.
Right. Well, first of all, it's great that she's doing it, and I know that this comes from not only from her own convictions, which are real, but I think from President Trump. It's a very strong position, and it's a correct position, because what is happening in the UN is a farce. Terrible injustices are happening to women, to gays, to Christians, to Yazidis, to Muslims, you know, by these horrible regimes that permeate the globe, and the terrorist organizations that they support. And who does the UN bash? Israel, the one real democracy in the Middle East.